The New England Patriots just quietly hinted at this big change. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots on the daily, pushing out content for people just like you who love Patriots football, regardless their record, regardless of the game last night. We're going to talk about it. Before we do, hit that subscribe button, like as always, and comment below. So today what we're going to be talking about, this big change that I think is going to happen before we know it. As well, we are going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of the game last night against Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets in Jersey. Yes, not New York. They're in Jersey. So anyways, let's jump into it. Big change that is going to be coming. First, I'll say this. Gerard Mayo saying Jacoby Brissett's going to remain the starter. He's saying, quote, Jacoby is our quarterback until I say he is not our quarterback. Getting a little sassy there. He said this morning. I thought he showed a lot of toughness, a lot of grit. Yeah, I agree with that. He did show a lot of toughness, a lot of grit. That offensive line was trash, very frustrating at times. They did show at times, hey, we can throw the ball downfield. Got some receivers involved, but in the end, it just looks stale when he's in that offense. Again, it doesn't look like he can move well in the pocket. And create opportunities where, he can improv a little bit, which I think would be better with Drake May. But I think this hints at the end of the game, hints at big changes coming. And the reason I say that is because they could have easily left Jacoby in there, handed the ball off a couple times, end of the game, it would be done. Again, Gerard Mayo knows big changes coming. You can tell in this comment right here, yeah, hey, Jacoby's our quarterback right now, but I think he knows in his heart of hearts that Jacoby is not the answer. Drake May, he went in there, he made some decent passes. Obviously, he got wrecked a couple plays. Again, that offensive line is rough, but I think that big change is going to be, before you know it, Drake May will be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. And I think by them putting him in, because down 24-3, it's not like it's a bloodbath out there. You can go out there, but in my opinion, what it hints at is Jacoby's not doing what we want. We're not getting any, let's try something new. Let's just see. And so I think it was a thing it was foreshadowing for things to come for the Patriots. And I think that big move is going to happen before you know it. And so that's the first thing. Second thing, we look at the good, the bad, the ugly. So we're going to start with good, and we're going to sandwich it. We're going to the good, the bad, and then maybe one more good thing just to leave it on a high note. There we go. So first, I'm going to say the good thing was they got the ball around more. Okay, so they were able to facilitate the ball, pass the ball around, which was awesome. And get it into wide receivers' hands, trying to get into Pop's hands more. He was the leading receiver, I believe, with 7 receptions, 69 yards. And so it was awesome to see him get the ball. When he gets the ball, it's exciting. He can move. He's very agile. He's quick. He needs to get the ball more. Simple. Osborne needs to get the ball more. Thornton, there was even a time where he drew a defensive pass interference on a go route, which was big. And then there was a couple times that Brissett just had the receiver. There was one where Hooper was doing a little almost like a corner route and missed him, almost had him. And so he was trying to get the ball around more, which was great. That was good to see. What was tough, though, was when we were in those third and longs and we could not convert. We couldn't get the ball going, couldn't get a run game going. That was rough. If you started Ramondre Stevenson on your fantasy team, I'm sorry. If it makes you feel better, I started Jalen Polk just because I was very optimistic, and that might come back to bite me. So we will see. Aaron, I thought you were talking about positive things, good things. Yes, you're right. Let's get back on target. So Pop, more in the offense. First play, I predicted. I thought it was going to be a play action. Nice, and it was, obviously. And when it came down to it, wasn't really anything great. And literally, they were 4 and out in that first drive. So, or 3 and out in that first drive. So, again, it was awesome to see wide receivers getting the ball more. And so spreading that ball out as well. Hunter Henry, honestly, didn't see much. You saw him sit in the middle field a couple times. And they were able to woo, bless me. One more. Always comes in twos. It'll come in a second. So Hunter Henry had that time, sat in the middle of the field, which was great, but then was able to spread the ball out more. So that's the first good thing. Second, Behringer, great punter. Golly. He had how many? I think he had 20 inside the 20. He's a weapon, whether you like to see him out there or not. Obviously, it's not ideal, but he's a great punter, Pro Bowl punter. Come on now. And last but not least, the good, getting Drake May in there. I think that was a smart move. You know, he can tell he's starting to get heat from people. Again, going back to that big change, starting to get heat from people understanding, hey, we're going to have to change something up here. We got to change something up here. Again, the smart move of not starting Drake May at the beginning of the season, because then it could potentially be vice versa. Oh, we better get Jacoby in there. It looks better to be able to say, hey, let's get the more up-and-coming young, what my grandpa would say, whippersnapper out there and change some things up, get a little more optimism. Hey, this is our future, and get things rolling. So I think those were the good things you could really see. Now the bad, offensive line, rough. Caden Wallace, rough. A lot of issues, a lot of penalties, a lot of blitzes that were not picked up, and if they were, they looked horrendous, and it didn't last long. That pocket collapsed quick. Jacoby Brissett and when Drake May was in there were under pressure a ton. So the offensive line, we know that. There's no surprise to you guys. The next one we talk about is the defense. If there's one big surprise going into this game that blew me away, was the fact that the defense looked horrendous. They had times where they had stops. That first drive, I was like, man, we're going to win this game. Let's roll. And then it was just downhill. Now, again, Aaron Rodgers is on that revenge tour. Aaron Rodgers can still play. He can still run. He is a great quarterback. He is a weapon. He is one of the best to ever do it, regardless what you think. I hate saying that because I could not stand him when he played for the Packers. Can't stand him now when he plays for the Jets. But he is a great, where credit is due, give credit where credit is due. He is a great quarterback, and he showed that last night, tearing apart that defense. As well, there was a ton of missed tackles. I believe there's 13 missed tackles. There's plenty of times that there could have been a tackle for loss in the backfield. Didn't happen. They eluded it. There was other times there was good stuff, but it just was not consistent. I think Christian Gonzalez had his good moments, especially going up against a great wide receiver in Garrett Wilson. But then again, there was awful tackles. You look at that Lazard touchdown, that little pass in the flats, that little screen, and Alex Austin it was almost embarrassing. Make an open field tackle. Come on now, you're a professional athlete. So those I feel like were the biggest bad things. The fact that in that O-line, when it comes to the offense, connects to everything else. You can't get a passing game going when that's going on. Can't really solidify a run game. There was a good run that Ramondre Stevenson had. I felt like there was momentum, but then he got called. When do you ever hear of an offensive face mask? That is wild. So, I mean, I get why they called it, but still crazy. So, again, there was some good things in this game, even though it was frustrating to watch. The bad really outweighed the good. Now, the Jets, I really think right now I'm going to say I think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to go up against the Bills. I think the Dolphins are totally out of it. And so I think it's for sure between the Jets and the Bills, and I think the Jets are going to take them again. Aaron Rodgers on that revenge tour, everyone made fun of him for tearing his Achilles within 0.1 seconds last year, and he's ready to roll. He is ready to roll, and I think he wants to go out on top before he retires. So watch out for that. Ending on a good note. Again, we have to remember, young team, rebuild. Again, I think whether you are excited for it or not, change is coming at the quarterback position, and I think that Drake May is going to show us more than Jacoby. Again, Jacoby is a placeholder. Jacoby is a backup quarterback at heart. That is, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's not a starting quarterback. He should not be a starting quarterback. He's a piece holder. Drake May needs to step in, and when he does, and it's going to be before you know it, because when they play the 49ers as well, that is going to be a tough game. But Drake May, I think, is going to show us a lot more and give us more opportunities and show some more I don't want to say, obviously Jacoby showed grit and all these things, but I think just that fight in him that Drake showed in that third preseason game as well. I think there was moments where it was like, man, you can tell he's out there battling, and he's trying to improvise and do what he can to get the ball downfield, and he was able to do that at times. And even during his time in, he showed flashes of that. And I think fans are excited for that, and I think that's going to be here before you know it. So comment below, what do you think? What other changes do you think are going to happen? What were the good things you saw in the game, whether that's pop or whatever it might be? What were the things that you're like, gosh, this is embarrassing to watch? Comment below. I'd appreciate it. Again, hit that subscribe button on your way out. You guys rock. This is Sports Talk Patriots. We'll talk later. Peace.